mom came into the room and she's like, look at my phone. And then I couldn't see it, so I had to look at mine. I'm like, oh.
I can't bet against Tom Brady. I have the Bucks winning 31-27 and Tom Brady going to his 10th championship.
Yeah, and I really think the Clippers' chance to win the championship was last year. And they were up 3-1 against the Denver Nuggets.
Chris Paul is one of the most underrated players of all time. He's been the best player wherever he goes, and that includes with the Rockets.
You said you can't bet against Tom Brady, and as a Cowboys fan and what I just did last weekend, I am not going to bet against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. I mean, that's all I can really say. There's two of the top 5 players in the league, and they're very, very good.
Hello, I'm Taylor Hearn, and you listen to The Outsiders' Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. We're going to be talking about the finals through 4 games, and a guy who predicted this, Austin.
Yeah, Tim and I both are special guests. If you guys haven't listened to that episode of our predictions and going over before this series, please go listen to it. I really enjoyed it, but him and I both predicted the Nuggets in 5, and we're extremely close to seeing that through.
And another thing that I want to give a shout out to Tim, if he's listening, was the Aaron Gordon.
That's a good one, and I was completely wrong because MPJ has played.
I was with you too, and I was like, dang, MPJ has not played well.
I kind of expected Aaron Gordon to be good defensively, but him scoring 25 in Game 4, I did not. So I thought he was going to be impact on defense, but Tim mentioned that if he can ramp up his offense, they will have a great chance. And that entire stretch of 5 minutes or so where Jokic had 5 fouls, which was he should not have had 5 fouls because that was a flop by Bam, but it's neither here nor there. And Aaron Gordon stepped up.
It didn't matter.
I don't know about better because technically they were negative.
It didn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
They still won.
Oh, yeah. He kept it extremely close to after Jokic got off the 4. Jokic got off. They were up 10. Jokic got back on the 4 when they were up 9. So it only went down 1 point, and that was really in help to Bruce Brown. And then, like Tim mentioned, Aaron Gordon, who had 25 points.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that. And just, it was shocking. And then Game 3, Christian Brown. When you had told me about Christian Brown when we were doing that, and I always thought it was spelled, I didn't realize it was Christian Braun, or I'd pronounced it Braun from Kansas.
Yeah, it's not Braun, it's Brown.
Yeah.
It's really confused. I thought it was Braun. I did too, but my friend Sam, who'll get a shout out maybe for the first time, he's a Kansas fan, and Brown went to Kansas, and he said, no, it's Brown. Right before the draft, he said that his name's Brown. It looks like Braun, but it's Brown. I'm like, oh, okay. So I find it really funny, and I'll need to look this up. But I've never seen a team before have 2 people have the same pronunciation with different spellings of the same. Like, okay, They have Bruce Brown and Christian Brown. The names are spelled differently. I need to find. There's probably one in hockey with Carlson and Carlson, but I need to find it where they're spelled differently because I just find that so cool that the last names are spelled differently, but they're the same last name. It'd be like if Michael Young and Josh Young played together.
Yeah.
Like their last names are the same pronunciation, but they're spelt differently. And that has to be a headache for a lot of guys.
Yeah, that's a very fun stat to check out. But it just seems to me, I hinted at this in the NHL video. If you haven't watched that or listened to that, check it out. It just seems like it's destined to be Denver unless some miracle happens for Miami.
You know what's really crazy is that the playoff leaders in points, total points, total rebounds, total assists, and win shares are all Jokic.
Jeez. Yeah, Jokic has been setting so many stats. And Game 1, because I don't think we haven't recorded or talked about this since Game 1, or we haven't after Game 1. It just seemed like he wasn't really he's still in great numbers, but it wasn't like he was really working hard at it. It was just easy to him.
Yeah, and that's really where I have to give credit to Bam, who's averaging more points than Jimmy. Bam's averaging 22, 12.5, and 3.8, and he's trying to keep his team in it. The problem is the rest of the team isn't there. Max Strus is shooting 16% from the field and 19% from 3. in 23 minutes per game, and they really do need Tyler Hero to come back.
Yeah, but Jokic, to me, also has been doing well defensively. He's made some good moves. He had a good swat last game. And Jamal Murray has been incredible. It's making me rethink, because I took back my Jimmy, because I think Jimmy has shown that he can take someone as the number one guy. We haven't seen it with Jamal Murray.
Yeah, but Murray's averaging more points, rebounds, assists, steals than Jimmy this series. Points, rebounds, assists, and steals, yeah.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Butler's just tired. I know some people were like, no, he's not tired.
He may be a little bit hurt too, I think.
Yeah, but I just think if there was a second guy with Jimmy, it'd be better. Like we talked about, Jokic is the number one guy, and Butler's not on the level of Jokic, but it's just Jimmy, I think, had to try so hard to get them here that he's kind of burnt out.
That could be true.
And Bam Adebayo's impressed me offensively, because it's a good rebound for him after the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, and he's been a big reason why this isn't already a sweep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did go sweep, and it just seemed like Miami really worked hard. They've always been working hard, but Denver didn't try as hard in game 2, and that's why they lost.
Well, a big reason too is the fact that everyone was shooting bad around Jokic. They were like, "Oh, Jokic had less assists. He wasn't trying to pass." No, he was trying to pass, but Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Michael Porter Jr. Combined for 3 of 12 from the field and 2 of 9 from 3, and that's where Jokic gets a lot of his assists, is from guys who are shooters sitting in corners or guys cutting. And again, 3 for 12 as a duo right there as 2 starters. That just doesn't work.
Yeah. But yeah, Jokic has been incredible. Murray. And it's just good that Jokic is doing on the big stage, because no one should not have Jokic at least in the top 2. They should have him top 1, but I get if you have Giannis over Jokic.
Yeah, that's the only one that I still don't know, because Giannis is so impactful defensively, and when he's 100%, you can't stop him. And it just so happened that he was hurt in the Heat series, which I all credit to the Heat. They still won games where he came back, but he obviously wasn't himself. He just wasn't as aggressive. But still, it's really a 1A, 1B. If you say Giannis, I get it. You say Jokic, I get it. There's no wrong answer between those two.
Yes. There's a wrong answer if you don't have those two.
Yeah. Those are our 1 and 2. You can't have another one, or you're just wrong, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else have I noticed. Do you agree with me? It just seems like Denver. There's no.
Oh yeah, and like I want to give a lot of props to guys like Christian Braun, 77% from the field. He only has 22 points in the series, but Jeff Green as well. Jeff Green only is averaging 5 points per game, but he's shooting 6 to 7 from the field in 15 minutes a game. They're getting great minutes. Like 14 minutes a game for Brown, and Green is playing 15, and those are your bench guys. You really, Bruce Brown as well is also playing great bench minutes. Those are their 3 guys they play from the bench, and you don't really technically they have more guys that play, but if you don't play at least 10 minutes per game, I don't count you. And they're only playing 3 guys off the bench, and all of them are shooting above 50% from the field. It's remarkable, and them getting that type of production. Green with his veteran leadership, Brown with his defensive impact, and then you obviously have Bruce Brown who's doing everything. And the fact that Christian Braun has 5 steals in 4 games in 14 minutes. Like, he is just such a good defender. He's so athletic. He made big steals in the game. He's shooting 10 of 13 from the field. Like, their bench, their depth is just playing to a level that you can't beat them. Not with Jokic. Like, you have to commit. And the problem is if Jokic does too much with Murray, these Nuggets are a well-oiled machine. I really want to see, hopefully sometime in the future, a healthy Bucks versus a healthy Nuggets, because I feel like that would be the series of the decade.
That would be great. And to me, another thing I want to talk about the Nuggets, while the Heat get lauded for their just the players that come out of nowhere. The Nuggets to me just have a better role players, and how they built this team is incredible. Jokic drafted second round, that's incredible. Murray, first round pick. Christian Braun, first round pick. But they didn't trade for these guys. I think the only guys they really traded for was and the big trade was Aaron Gordon. They signed Bruce Brown.
Yeah, they also traded for KCP, I believe. Or was he signed? He was traded.
He was traded from Will Barton. They traded Will Barton, who I think.
Yeah, I remember now because that's how they got Ish Smith as well. Yeah. Who doesn't play, obviously, and they also traded to get Thomas Bryant, I believe. But of guys who play, Jeff Green signed 2 years ago, and he's a veteran presence. But if we look at their core, like their top 3 players, like at least for the future, which is MPJ, Jamal Murray, Jokic, all homegrown, and then Brown they drafted, and he's playing significant minutes as a rookie, even though he was the 21st pick. Like you don't expect that, and the fact that he is so good defensively, he won a championship last year with Kansas, and now he's here again on the biggest stage making an impact, and I'm really happy for him because, again, you rarely see young guys like this performing in the finals. It's a rare sight.
Yeah, so that's just something that sticks out to me, and kind of for a team that, well, I was just thinking about the Mavericks. For a team that wants to make it to the championship and win a championship, just compare yourselves to these teams. You have the star player, but you don't have the other type of role players, because you have Murray delivering. He only didn't deliver one night, and it just seemed like they have role players that can step up. MPJ has yet to step up, but it hasn't affected them. So that's just something.
And they're not getting the best from Murray, honestly, because Murray struggled last game shooting. He did. He shot, I think, 5 for 16. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Aaron Gordon's going to score 27. It's not going to matter. Actually, Murray shot 5 for 17. Yeah. He shot 29% from the field, but he had 12 assists. And Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, even though he's not shooting well this series, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Again, Christian Braun comes in for 14 minutes and 45 seconds, 1 steal, 1 block. Jeff Green comes in, hits his 1 shot, which was a 3, and got a steal in his 15 minutes. Bruce Brown, 8 for 11 off the bench. Their team is so well built. It is. It just is well built. And we are out of the super team era. There's no other all-star on this team besides Jokic. Now, yes, Murray's a great talent, and he could be an all-star in the future, but right now, he's by himself, and it doesn't matter.
And they didn't trade for that talent. That was homegrown.
Talent. And that's why I mean, I don't want to bring this up because but I worry about a team like the Mavs that I think are trying to make too many moves. Like, again, if you trade the 10th pick, you're moving off of guys like Christian Braun, who was the 21st pick. I know you want to trade back and then get a better defensive guy, but again, the Kyrie trade. No, there's not been for the Suns with the KD trade. There's not been a big trade. I'm talking multi-time all-star trade that has made an impact on a team winning the finals in a little bit. It's been a minute since I've seen that. The last one I can think of is probably Anthony Davis, because the Bucks didn't have a big history-altering trade. Warriors obviously didn't.
Yeah, I would like to talk more about this idea of like when did the super team era end?
Is it a super team to have 2 all-time players? Like AD's a Hall of Famer, LeBron's a Hall of Famer. Is that a super team? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because I have an idea of when it ended, when they focused more on depth, but I don't want to spend too much time on that.
That's fair. I think that's more of an off-season concept anyway. So I think that's a good thing to bring up. That's a good title to the video too, and I'm glad we kind of talk about it now. Definitely tune in for our when did the super team era end for the NBA.
Yes, it was a great idea. I just don't want to go on a tangent when we can do a video, and I think it would be great. So check that out. Anything more on the finals?
No. I said this before the video when this was in reference to something else, but I I'm not a big hater or lover for a lot of players, but I do like seeing former Wizards win. And Thomas Bryant, Ish Smith, there's two, Thomas Bryant, Ish Smith, Jeff Green, and who is the other guy? Oh, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So KCP. The 4 Wizards are on this Nuggets team, and maybe the Heat make a crazy comeback, but I do like seeing former players that I watch playing every day having some success.
Yeah, that's really good, and I just can't wait to see Jokic. I really hope he gets a ring. It'd be great. Well, we'll talk about that hopefully when that happens, and if not, we'll react to that. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.